What's up, guys? Dr. McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the rebuild series here with the Montreal Canadiens with Rick Rebuild here. As we are midway through the season, we'll be getting into the rest of the regular season here today, trade deadline, see if we need to make any moves or not. But first and foremost, I do want to say thank you guys so much for joining the channel, subscribing. If you guys are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. I know I didn't get a chance to drop any videos last week. I was not able to make it home to be able to make videos, but we are here this week with 2 uploads. Gonna try to have 2 for you guys next week as well. But let's get into it here with today's episode. I know the boys are playing pretty well as of right now. Hanifin is the only one out with injury. But we are getting into the month of January, needing a big month here, continuing on with the awesome push that we had going. Keep that momentum flowing from the last episode. As of right now, one thing to keep in mind is we have both Seattle and the Washington Capitals first round pick. Jonathan Toews re-ups his contract, which is really awesome. Filip Hronek has also decided to up his contract. Romanov has, and Tom Wilson has. We also get a couple of guys in the AHL upping or re-upping their contracts, which is awesome. Just getting those deals done now so we don't have to worry about them later is something that we don't have to deal with when the time comes. But starting off January strong with 2 wins. We've got a Western swing, it looks like right now, going up against Seattle. We lose in a shootout. That's unfortunate. We gotta keep those guys losing so we can get a higher first round pick with them. Hanifin is fully healed and available to play in the next game, so that's exactly what we needed here to continue on with our push. As I wonder if we move Sherratt down here. I want to keep Sherratt in the lineup. We'll swap Hayden Fleury out with Hanifin. And that gets that +1 there on the top pair, which is awesome. We lose in another shootout, which is very interesting. But we're getting points. That's exactly what we need, as long as they're not 100% losses, which we got a big W there against Chicago Blackhawks, 25-12-5. We got a big game here, actually, against the Florida Panthers, which we win. Got a little back-to-back with them, as well as we've got an away stint, which we end up beating the Capitals. And as of right now, the Capitals are bumping up the standings, which is unfortunate. 47 points, and the Kraken are still down there. So that pick is still looking pretty good right now. We'll simulate here to the last day of the month. So far, this month has really gone our way. Nothing too crazy to report. No injuries, no crazy losses, although we lost there to the Preds. We bounced back with a nice victory against the Jets, 3-2. Dallas Stars looks like they have a solid team. Tom Wilson's going to be out until the 23rd of February, so he's going to be out for a little bit under a month. As look at the overall of Jonathan Toews just dropping like crazy. That's okay, though. We've got some players. Does Ylönen fit? He does not fit the third line, so we're going to go with our boy Krause, power forward. I know he does fit that third line, which is really nice. So he keeps the +2 with them. I don't know why the simulation thing got all jacked up there. But we lost to the Stars. We lost to the Carolina Hurricanes. We need some W's here to finish out the month. Buffalo Sabres aren't too bad this year, but hopefully we get a W, 4-2. We got our 30th win of the season. We go up against the pretty good Edmonton Oilers and beat them. We also beat the Seattle Kraken, which is nice to see. We're on top of the division, which is nice. Capitals now back to that last place in their division, which is what we like to see in regards to the first round picks. Seattle Kraken are going up a little bit in their standings, which don't really want to see that, but we'll got a nice little break here. We got a game against the Capitals. Can we get the W? We do not, so they get some points out of that one, unfortunately. 32-16. Krause is out now until the 25th of February, so we're losing those third line fill-ins are dropping like flies. But no worries, we'll throw in Ylönen into the lineup. He doesn't get anything on that top pair. And Koskinen gets a +2 on the third line. So we'll give him a little run there, as it looks like we beat the Buffalo Sabres. We're going to simulate here past the New Jersey Devils. Can we get a victory against them? Ooh, Tyler Toffoli is out until March. That's quite a big injury. He is a very solid player for us. I don't know who else do we have scratched. Ooh, we only have Hayden Fleury. I think Krause will be back, so I don't want to call anybody up, so we're going to have to throw Hayden Fleury in here for a little bit. I don't know how that's going to work. He does technically get a +1, which is funny, but we'll bury him on the 4th line. We've got some power play stuff to also work out, which is interesting. But we'll make it work. We got to do what we got to do. We'll throw Klingberg in there, get him back. Oh, Klingberg was already in there. So let's get. I don't really know who we should throw in here. Maybe Marchenko on the back end. He's technically a right winger, so we'll throw him in. We can't because he's already out there. Interesting stuff here. We're kind of running out of options. Let's just throw Sonny Milano out there. Why not? Get Marchenko back on the back end. We'll get Koskinen on the back end. And I think that honestly works for the power play for the time being. 4-man power play. Let's throw Dvorak up there. Let's get another defenseman on the back end. I think Hronek would work. No, Hronek's not going to work. We're going to have to throw in a left defenseman, which we've got a ton of. And Edmondson doesn't really work. Let's go left defense. Romanov should work, hypothetically speaking. And he sort of does, so we'll roll with that. And extras, we got 3-on-3, so I'm not too concerned about it. We just need to throw somebody in there on that pairing, and we'll throw Anthony Ciu in there, so that should get things back to normal for us to be able to sim through. We lose 4-1. I'm really wanting one of our injured players to come back here because I don't want to play Hayden Fleury. Jonathan Toews has been injured with a hernia. Okay, so now we have to go to roster moves. We have no choice but to bring some players up. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So I would say we need a winger and a centerman at this point in time. And Jake Evans is about to get the call up, although he is only a one-way player. We'll give it a go. We'll bring up Jake Evans, and we will bring up. We need a right winger, technically speaking. Let's see here. Who do we have? That's exactly a right winger. Anitala? YOLO. Let's give him a shot. Let's give him like 2 games in the NHL. I think that would be really cool to see him play a couple of games. I mean, it's not what we want, but it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. So Jake Evans, you're getting in there. Technically speaking, you do fit that third line. Hayden Fleury, you are out. Anitala, you are in. I'm probably butchering his name, and he doesn't really fit any of the lines. And I don't want him buried. We're going to have to go -2 on that bottom pair. Laval Rockets, we'll just do best lines for them. Not too worried about them. But we beat the Boston Bruins. We need some guys to come back from injury right now. We can't be playing with a pretty low 4th line, but we lose more injuries for the AHL, so we have to fill in as needed. As of right now, we're not doing too bad with all these injuries. Tom Wilson is fully healed, so thank gosh for that. We're going to bring him back into the lineup. We'll get Anitala out. Although, I'm curious, how has he done? 2 games, -1. Not what you want to see, but, I mean, he is only a 72 overall. We'll get Tom Wilson back in there. Kostin, is he technically a left winger? I think he is. So we'll get him back on that left-hand side. And that should work. I want to go to roster moves now and send Anitala back down because I want him to get some playing time. I don't want him just chilling on the bench. That's not I don't think that's going to be good for his development, but we'll send him back down, confirm the move, go to edit lines, and we should, hypothetically speaking, be able to get him back in there. Let's do head coach preferred lines. Anitola's back in there. We're good to go for the AHL. So we lose to the Avalanche 3-0. We lose to the St. Louis Blues, so kind of a bad end of the month here. Got a 3-game losing streak right now. We need some victories here. Can we beat the Golden Knights? They're a solid squad. Krause is back. We can get him into the lineup. Zahora, didn't know he was injured, but we do beat the Golden Knights. That's nice. Can we beat the Kings away from home? Primo is out. Head coach replaced player. And we do beat the Kings. So 36, 20, and 5. We're actually right below the Tampa Bay Lightning. Capitals down there for one of the worst in the division. 63 points. The Kraken, 57 points. So our picks are going to be lottery picks for sure. We've got the trade deadline here to consider, and I don't know if we're going to need or even want to move on from any players. Let's take a look here. We do beat the Calgary Flames, which is really nice. Another away game here against the Anaheim Ducks before we take a look at the team, and we end up losing. So we're in a playoff position. I don't want to shake up the team too much. And let's take a look at the team here, specifically speaking. We'll take a look at their stats as well. But, I mean, that first line, we can't break them up. Second line is pretty stacked as well. Ylönen, we will get you out. Oh, actually, Toffoli's back, I think. Is Toffoli back? So we'll get Milano back down on the bottom pair. We'll get Ylönen out of the lineup. We'll get Toffoli back in there, and it should get the +1. So he is technically still injured. We gotta wait for the coach to give us the go-ahead on him. We can't be moving Ylönen out just yet, which he's got 4 goals in 10 games. Sonny Milano, he's got 20 points in 63. That's not terrible. Tom Wilson's having a very solid year. Jake Evans, he's got 1 goal in 7 games. So, I mean, the team is playing well. Dylan Guenther, 13 goals, 26 assists in 58 games played. Suzuki, 20 and 43, which is really nice. Cole Caulfield, 20 and 24. Marchenko is 25-25. Dvorak, 20 and 33. Milano, 5-15. Anthony Ciu, not really putting up what we would expect him to. 7 and 10. That might be somebody we might want to move on from. Tom Wilson, solid points. Costin, honestly, we might want to bump him up and give Anthony Ciu maybe some time on the 4th line. Costin, I mean, 12 and 21. He's putting up some great points. Even Evan Rodriguez on the 4th line, 13 and 17. I mean, that's amazing production from a 4th line player. And now checking out the back end, Hannafin, he hasn't played a full season. He is technically +17, 5 goals, 14 assists. Very good for only 49 games played. Klingberg, 11 and 34, 27 minutes a night. He should be putting up those points. Romanov, a little bit of a down year, 7 goals, 10 assists so far. We're keeping him around. He's 84, 24 years old. He's a future cornerstone piece to the franchise. Hronek, 6 and 8, 61 games played. I mean, not what you want, but he's not doing terribly. Edmondson, 2 and 9, and then we've got Sherratt, 2 and 5. Though that's basically our steady Eddie pair right there. We could technically move maybe Edmondson up, but we can't because it gets the -3. I'm curious about the goaltender situation with Marc-Andre Fleury. He's down to an 86 overall, but 905 with a 279. Not the best of stats, but Jake Allen, I mean, very solid backup stats. 926 with a 228. 1 shutout. Fleury only has 1 shutout. Maybe we look, I was going to say look for a goaltender, but Fleury is only on a 1-year deal. We're not looking to bring him back anyways, possibly, depending on how far we go in the playoffs and how far he drops in overall. But when it comes to players next year, we have $11 million in cap space. Tyler Toffoli wants a deal, and I'm curious, how's Toffoli done this year? Let's take a look. 8 goals and 31 assists. That's not what we're looking for. What does he want? He wants $6 million for next year after really not that impressive year so far. Let's take a look at his full stats. Yeah, it's 39 points. He's put up 60 pretty consistently, but I mean, that's not what we're looking for. He only I think Toffoli might be the guy we need to move on from. Try to get something out of him. I mean, do what they've done in real life and move on from him, because he's going to want a little bit more than what we're willing to give him. Joel Edmondson wants 4.7. We might end up moving on from him. Noah Hannafin doesn't want to re-sign, but he wants 5.8. At 27 years old, we might want to keep him around. Marchenko, coming off of his rookie deal, he wants $6 million. Wow. $6 million for Marchenko is quite interesting. Rodriguez, we'll see if he wants a deal. He wants $2 million. That might be something we'll have to move on from, because if anything, we're bringing in Bedard next year, which I'm actually curious. How is Bedard doing? I believe we can check and see on this page. Connor Bedard, he's up to an 83 overall, guys. 29 goals, 25 assists in 44 games played, 83 overall. So we will definitely be bringing him in next year. That'll be extremely exciting. But in the meantime, I think Toffoli is going to be the move that we're going to need to make. And if anything, that second line, it's interesting because Milano technically fits it with the +2. I'm going to do some shopping and see what is out there, because Kostin could technically also fit. And maybe we move Kostin up, try to bring somebody in for the third line. Although if we move Kostin up, it's still the +2. He's at 84 overall. Anthony Ciu still works on that third line. And I don't know if Taves is back yet. He is not. But I would bet that Taves still gets the +1, hypothetically speaking. That, if anything, we need a third or fourth line player, unless somebody big is out there that we could try to move. And technically speaking, Marchenko doesn't fit this line either. We could maybe move on from him, although he's putting up very good points. This might be his best. Yeah, I was going to say it's his best year ever with us. It's really tough to say that we should move on from him, because he does want a little bit of money next year. Well, I think we keep Marchenko around. Let me do some shopping and see what we can find. Here we are, guys. We've got a trade in the works here for Andrei Burakovsky of the Los Angeles Kings. He's got 3 years left on his deal at 29 years old, 87 overall. He's not having the best of years with the Kings, but he does technically fit our second line, all penalty kill lines. At 87 overall, this could be a nice little piece for the future as well as this year. Just with that cap space that we have, this could be a nice little addition to the squad. Trade is accepted. Burakovsky is on the squad. I'm really happy with that. And let's go ahead. We'll do best AHL lines. But what I'm more worried about is trying to fit him in. I'm curious where we can move him on the roster. I know we got rid of Anitala. He's probably never going to play for us. Marchenko technically doesn't fit the lines now. Although, if we move him technically to the right wing, move Kostin back down there, Anthony Ciu. Let's see if we can move him out, move Burakovsky in. Oh, Burakovsky doesn't actually technically fit the line. That is very interesting. Although, if we do Kostin then up on the right wing, Burakovsky's a left winger. I'm curious because technically speaking, when we get Jonathan Taves back, I'm wondering if Marchenko, he probably isn't going to fit. That's interesting, but I am happy that Burakovsky does technically fit. Kostin now playing an elevated role, 24 years old. I want to see technically, he does technically fit the third line better. Man, Burakovsky playing third line minutes. Is that what we really want? I mean, we get +2, +2, +1 at the moment. I think we just wait and see and watch and see how Burakovsky does, and then maybe eventually bump him up a line. But I mean, that's honestly, that is a huge upgrade. Curious how the AHL team is doing. They are first in their division, so good for them. But we're going to go through the trade deadline here. I don't think we need to make any other moves at this point in time. We're pretty much set at the goaltender position. I feel confident with our goaltender, so we can pretty much simulate through the rest of the regular season. Let's do conservative seller. We'll just continue simming. I know it's probably not going to give us blockbuster trades, but we'll see you guys here in just a second as soon as it does go through the simulation. Got a player here, Eric Robinson, that we could potentially claim off of waivers. He is 79 overall, 1.6 million with 1 year's left on his deal. We'll claim him for the AHL squad. Let's go to edit lines here, and we shall do some finagling. We will head coach preferred lines, and if anything, yeah, I was going to say that Robinson guy is going to slot right into the lineup. That'll be nice to see. Back to edit lines. Oh, is Gunther injured? I guess Dylan Gunther got hurt, but Anthony technically slots in on that top pair. Gunther's only out until March 12th, so it's not a terrible loss. If anything, give him time to heal up. We do lose to the Capitals. Unfortunate there. Head coach has been injured. Oh, we have to actually send somebody down. So this is the time where we will send Ylönen down. Because we can't send Evans back. Man, Jonathan Toews is down to an 82 overall. That is tough to see there. But we've got Ylönen down. Edit lines, NHL lines. We'll get Kraus in there on the bottom pairing for now. And let's see. If anything, I actually might want to move. I might want to move Burakovsky up to that first line to see how he would do. Technically, Kraus can only play left wing. We'll move him up there. Burakovsky does fit the top line, so we'll give him some top line minutes in place of Gunther at this point in time. We'll wait for Gunther to get back fully healed. That Gildon guy is always injured down in the AHL, but big games here, multiple players able to be dressed. And that might mean that Jonathan Toews is back and ready to go. So let's move Evans out. Jonathan Toews should be good to go. He is. Thank goodness for that. He has put up very solid numbers. And I'm wondering if Dylan Gunther is back. He might be, and he is. Now the real question is, what lines does he technically? He only technically fits the top line, unfortunately. So we'll move him down there. We have 3+2s right now. That's really tough to break up. Make that Burakovsky still technically fits that line. And that's where he's going to have to sit for the time being. I know he probably isn't happy about that, but he's got 2 points in 2 games. We'll take that. We'll continue on. Honestly, the team is pretty stacked when it comes to pluses, overalls. We beat the Bruins. We lose to the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll simulate through pretty much the rest of the month. We've got a good battle here. Juleson is out, but the AHL will take care of that. Marchenko's out until April 5th, so that's going to shake some things up a little bit here. We're going to have to move Burakovsky up. He does still technically get the +1, but we're going to have to move in Lawson Kraus here into the lineup. Does get the +1 there, but we will move Anthony up. He gets the +2. And we've got some power plays, special teams things to take care of. And man, I really don't like that first power play much. Let's get Kraus off of there. I want to get our boy Burakovsky, to be honest, on that first power play. He is technically a sniper. He doesn't get any bumps, which is very interesting. I mean, if we move Gunther down, technically it does get the +1, so we'll work with that. Ronan, Klingberg, Romanov, Gunther. We need another defenseman on the back end. We'll throw Hannafin on the back end there. Extras. We need 3-on-3. We'll move Burakovsky up. We'll move Taves down. And we need a winger, which the winger, interestingly enough, we'll throw Tom Wilson on the 3-on-3 opportunity there. So, simulation board just looks very crazy right now. I don't know what's going on, but we lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're on a 2-game losing skid right now. We need to pick things back up. Big game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. We lose in a shootout, so we do at least get a point. We're sliding down the standings right now, which is not what we want to see. We do beat the Maple Leafs in a shootout, so 2 shootouts back-to-back. We lose one, we win one. We're losing games, but we're thankfully staying in it. And, 40 wins should technically and will be enough to get us into the playoffs. It's just going to be where are we going to be sitting. Right now we've got a 5-point cushion. Concussion, we'll just head coach replace player. It should be fine. We do beat the Islanders in a shootout, so we get our 40th win of the season. We're technically in a wild card spot right now. Jake Evans out with a knee injury. We'll have to head coach replace player with that as well. We do beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-2. Nico is fully healed. We're not worried about that. We beat the Devils 4-1. Capitals still have a low pick, and the Kraken have a low pick. So if anything, we're looking pretty good for some lottery picks, guys, for next year's draft, which is awesome. But game against the Penguins, Jonathan Taves is injured until April 5th. We'll have to head coach replace him. And honestly, I'm kind of scared of what our lineup looks like right now. We're about to find out here in just a second. Evans, Rodriguez, Hayden Fleury. I was going to say Fleury is probably playing wing at this point with all the injuries. Marchenko is technically healed, but we need him to be fully healed as we are going to... we've won games. We beat the Penguins. We beat the Senators. At this point, the boys are buzzing with the makeshift lineup. They're making do as we are away against Boston. I think we won, to be honest, but I don't know. We got some players ready to get back into the lineup. And let's take a look here. I think Marchenko's ready. Yeah, Taves and Marchenko are fully healed back. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go back to edit lines. But we end up winning one more game with that makeshift lineup, 5-1. So we're definitely going to the playoffs, which is very exciting. Suzuki leading the team in points. Man, we might actually win the division. We went from almost going to a wild card spot to almost winning the division, which is, that's pretty awesome stuff. But let's go ahead. We'll get Taves back in on the third line. That gets the +2. We'll get Hayden Fleury off the fourth line with Marchenko in there. And we shall move... It's a tough call. I think we'll move Anthony down. We'll keep Marchenko on the third line. I know that the +2 might have been better, but I would prefer him down there. But I do think we beat the Boston Bruins. We lost to the Bruins. We beat the Senators. So we've got only a couple of games left in the season with a chance to win the division. So this is going to be quite a push here. We're going to need some more victories here. Carolina, home, we lose 8-2. That's not what we like to see. We get a win against the Rangers. We do not. So we're sliding down the standings. Do we beat the Buffalo Sabres? We do. At this point, we need home ice advantage. Blue Jackets, man, they are flying. We're probably not going to get the home ice advantage. Last game of the year against the Rangers, away from home. No injuries, fingers crossed. I don't care about Eric Robinson. We lose. Oh, man. We're actually the bottom wild card. Man, we went from almost winning to the division to getting the last wild card. That's quite interesting, but hey, we'll take it. 99 points, a solid year. The Capitals, 84 points, potentially a lottery pick, and then the Kraken, 71 points. So we've got some top top first-round picks for next year's draft, which I'm really excited about. But taking a look at it, I mean, we're going to be playing the Tampa Bay Lightning, so it's going to be a tough first round. Let's take a look at stats here before we even get to the playoffs. And I mean, Suzuki, 76 points, leads the team this year. Not what we like to see. Dvorak, Caulfield, Gunther, Marchenko, Klingberg, Burakovsky. I'm curious how he did technically with us. 16 points in 19 games played. I mean, that's very good output for bringing him in. Jonathan Toews, 40 points. Really awesome to see that output from a third-line center. Tom Wilson, not the best, 33 and 70, but honestly not terrible. Sonny Milano, 21 and 68, not too, or 22 and 72, I should say, not terrible. Jake Evans, 2 points at 13 games. We gave him a little bit of a shout this year. But let's see, goaltenders Fleury, 905 with a 275, and then we've got Allen with a 910 281 save percentage. So that is quite interesting stuff there to see. Super excited. And I mean, we're getting ready for the playoffs, and that is exactly where we want to be. That's where we expect to be every single year. We're going to get the Tampa Bay Lightning, so it's going to be a challenge first round of these playoffs. And honestly, I think the team is up for it. I think we will have a fair shot rematch of a previous Stanley Cup, but we will have to wait until the next episode to see how things go down with that. That is going to be it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like on this video. I hope you guys have a good one, and as always, stay dusty.